What is up, guys? Fonzarelli fell-handed playing some World of Warships with none other than Spartan Elite 43 and my main man Loading Heat. I am in a battleship. This is not exactly my comfort zone, however. This is a ship out of the Founders Pack. Amazing looking camo. Of course, I don't exactly know what it would camouflage you from. It is in Arkansas. How do I put this? If you guys watch my World of Tanks videos, you know how I get down in World of Tanks. And that translates pretty easily to DDs being destroyers in this game. That's kind of where my skill set is. And I'm starting to do, in this game, what I did a little bit later in World of Tanks. I started playing things out of my comfort zone, and this is as far out of my comfort zone as humanly possible. Big, slow, derpy. I'm not generally a fan. Now, from what I have learned, is that you are supposed to never give somebody a broadside shot. So, food for thought. Don't do that. You will be decorated. Now, it's funny because like I said, most of my experiences comes from DDs, and when you're shooting torpedoes, you know, nobody cares. If you can connect with them, awesome. If you can't, reload, fire more. But the battleships and the cruisers have a totally different dynamic. You know, you're supposed to be turning essentially all the time. You know, face your enemy as they're shooting at you, called bow tanking, and then turn left or right and fire through the turn, line your guns up, pull the trigger, fire, and then turn back in towards bow tanking. I am not very good at this bow tanking type of situation. I just kind of, you know, go and set sideways and hope for the best, and sure, it's not good, but man, it takes an act of Congress to get one of these battleships to turn, and they reload so slow. And I guess I have a fairly decent game, considering this is not my cup of tea. Boy, I decorated that guy. But at the same time, you know, it's all about getting out of your comfort zones. As far as the game goes, I enjoy the game. I played it a tiny bit on PC. I was not too much of a fan of it on PC. Just, you know, because you kind of step into that zone where, you know, the guys on PC have been playing it for years and years and years, and, you know, you're swimming with sharks. And the Xbox kind of has a different dynamic, so to speak, because you are, I mean, granted, of course, you know, everybody's new right now. You know, nobody's played Xbox before on Warships. But you kind of step into it, and, you know, there's always going to be new players coming in, so that dynamic will change, but it's not going to be like night and day. You know, because somebody may, you know, look through their top free games. You know, say, okay, well, let me look at the top 5. Oh, boom, there's World of Warships. Let me download it. Let me give it a shot. And they may like it. They may start playing. So that kind of, essentially, that's going to keep that dynamic. It's going to make that dynamic fluid. And I think that's, you know, more or less what happened with World of Tanks, is that, you know, you've always got new players in. Or, as people call them, noobs. I'm not too much a fan of that terminology because, you know, we're all noobs at something. Let's put it that way. Nobody's an expert at everything. But at any rate, I'm kind of getting a little bit off topic here. Back to the game. We're doing fairly well. It seems to me, it's just, wow. Once again, I hate to keep harping on this subject, but I'm going from something that can literally do a 180-degree turn in guns in like 3-4 seconds to this thing that takes, you know, 20 minutes to get guns on target. You know, it is what it is, though. Now, I have learned, though, from, you know, my good buddy Double D, that, you know, with battleships you want to spam AP at everything pretty much. If you do happen to catch a destroyer and you do have a chance to load HE, do that, you will absolutely obliterate them. But for the most part, you know, if you're a cruiser firing at the side of another cruiser, you know, definitely want to run AP in the chance of possibly citadeling someone. And that's really where the damage is. If you can connect with a citadel, you will do untold damage, because I think all of your shells hit for max damage. I'm still learning this game. If I'm getting any of this wrong, guys, please comment below. Let me know. This is the little bit that I do know. You know what I mean? As far as your radar goes in top left-hand corner, the outer line is your detection range, and the green line is your gun range. And mine are pretty much close on par, because I know battleships, you can pretty much see those from low Earth orbit. It's about 13, 14, 15 clicks away you can spot a battleship, and that's close to where their guns are. So there's not going to be a big difference. When you're working with, obviously, destroyers, there's going to be a big difference there. A little bit of room to maneuver, you know, as far as that goes. As far as your you know, your spotting mechanic goes, the reasons I kind of enjoy this game a little bit better than World of Tanks is because if you're in a tier 8 and you're shooting in a tier 10, you either need to run a premium round or hit them in the very right spot. But in World Warships, we're kind of all on an even keel. We can all damage each other, we can all put in work, so on and so forth. And Wargaming is limiting the tiers to, I think they said they're only going to go to 8. I could be wrong, but I think they said they're only going to go to 8 at some point. And that way the matchmaking can stay at +1, which is fantastic. However, the downside is they are bringing in carriers, which is the World of Warships version of artillery. But, you know, there's also a counter for that, versus there's not really much of a counter aside from cowering in World of Tanks for arty. Is, you know, certain ships have a very strong AA rating, because, you know, they can shoot those planes down, and it's autonomously. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to move cursor over them. You don't have to aim. They just come in range, and it's just all up to RNG. Your RNG is battling their RNG. The same way if somebody gets, you know, within, say for example, the Arkansas's secondary range. And I think on this ship it is 4 clicks, 4-ish, somewhere. And if you get it 4, all the secondaries are going to open up. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to shoot at whatever they want to shoot at. Have at it. The more damage, the better. And it's not going to be, you know, night and day, but anytime you see somebody shoot down one of those spotter planes, that's what did it. The bot AA guns shot down the plane, not the guy. So there's there's no player interface in that at all. If they do manage to bring over the carriers as they are, that is definitely a player mechanic, and I have heard that they're kind of wanting to make that autonomous as well, which I had heard that, but I'm kind of thinking, I've seen a lot of carrier videos. The people in the carriers wouldn't really be doing anything except maybe hitting up and sideways on the D-pad, because flying the planes is pretty much what the carrier people do. They fly a squadron of planes and run around and bomb people. So I don't know. They're saying they're wanting to bring carriers over, but they need to be fixed first. I'm not exactly sure what that means. You know, you're going to have your issues with anything, no matter what game it's on. I'm just kind of glad that Wargaming is putting in this much support into their current, their current games, as far as getting input from the players and what have you. This hasn't been a whole lot of me talking about the battle. It has been me talking about the theories and the practices and so on and so forth. But I don't know a whole lot about this game, so if you can help me, if you can edify me in the ways of this game, that would be great, because you know what? I am like a lot of you guys. I'm still learning. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what's going on. To business. 48 something in a battleship. All three of us there. The trifecta right there at the top, holding it down. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And we will catch you guys on the flippity flop.